Hey there, what's up? I'm Dr. Tony SLP, and you're listening to How to Be Seen, the podcast where a supportive community of marginalized women, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and creatives empower and inspire you to become successful in your life and business by showing up dripping in authenticity. If you like real, honest, raw advice from a self-love practitioner and a collective of women who've done the work, you're in the right place. I'm so grateful to have you here. All right, let's jump in. Mental health is a topic that touches all of our lives in one way or another, whether through our personal experiences, the struggles of loved ones, or simply navigating the stress and challenges of daily life. Yet, for many of us, seeking help can feel overwhelming, unfamiliar, or even stigmatized. This is partly because it has been normalized for us to feel alone in our struggles, leaving us to wonder whether therapy could really help or not, or remain unsure of how to even find the right support. So whether you're on your own journey to better mental wellness, supporting someone you love, or just curious about how to better understand yourself, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Welcome, Virginia. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on How to Be Seen. Yes, I love it.
Definitely. All right. So please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little bit about what you do.
Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Virginia Dale Manning. I am a licensed mental health therapist. I have two locations, one in Houston, Texas, one in my hometown, Beaumont, Texas. Had to go back give to the community. I am very passionate about educating people about mental health and mental wellness because it's important to be in tune with that part of your body, just like the physical health. You have to be in tune to the mental health. So I on social media, I have my practice, and my next phase in my life is to bring more awareness about mental health.
Nice. Okay. I just want to jump right in and get to some meat and potatoes. So, can you share a little bit about your journey that led you to becoming an actual licensed professional counselor?
Okay. It all started with my mother. She had mental health challenges, severe depression, and she was on psychotropic medications. She saw the psychiatrist who she was getting her medications from. But just in 1994, December 1st, 1994, she completed on her third attempt. It's over the years evolving, dealing with my own grief, learning more about mental health and what I saw in her growing up and my childhood traumas from having a mother with mental health issues, just processing all of that. And then God just guided me to where I'm at today, my purpose, right? She helped me to develop my purpose. Her life was so that I can have this purpose of helping other people, bringing awareness, especially the families who struggle with family members with mental health issues and don't know too much about it. And so that person doesn't feel comfortable with just addressing their mental health issues because of the stigma, the taboo, feeling like people gonna think they're this word, quote unquote, that we try not to use, like crazy word, right? And so I'm just here to help people. Her death wasn't in vain. I truly believe it was a purpose given to me for me to do this for the world.
All right. And that actually ties into the next question I was going to ask you as far as did you ever feel or was there ever a pivotal moment or actual experience that stands out where you realized that counseling and mental health therapy was your actual calling?
Actually, I didn't tie them together until I started getting into my business and trying to grow my business. And you know how people are saying, okay, what's your purpose? What's your passion? What's your niche? What drove you to want to do this thing? And unconsciously, I was just following God's, you know, pattern and being obedient with what He was wanting me to do. But it was then when I was developing my business that I started putting two and two together. I'm like, wait a minute, that those two go together. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because my mom and her mental health challenges and the things that she was going through, and that she didn't go to a therapist. Now, best practices is when you have mental health issues, if you go to a psychiatrist and get medications, you should also be seeing a therapist. I knew she was going to a psychiatrist and getting those medications, but I never heard of her going to a therapist. And so I felt like she was getting her symptoms taken care of with the medications, but she didn't have anybody to help her to address the real issue, which I believe is when her mother died, she was in severe grief and she just never really processed it. And she just was using the medications as a buffer to take the meds. I feel better, to wear off. I'm feeling bad. Take the meds. I feel better, without really addressing her grief. And that piece, if I feel like if me and my siblings had known more about mental health issues and just a little knowledge of what she was going through, I feel like we could have helped her a little more than what she probably was suffering on her own.
Right. You touched on it, and I think it's really important. Some people don't realize there is a difference when it comes to a psychiatrist or therapy or even a psychologist for that matter, the different
Mhm.
levels within mental health and what each one of those roles actually are. Could you just touch on maybe those definitely between the difference between a psychiatrist and of course a therapist?
Right. So a psychiatrist is more like the doctor in the doctor world, right? They could prescribe medications. And a lot of people think that when they go to a psychiatrist, they usually should go at least once a month for medication monitoring, right? And so they feel like because the psychiatrist is going to ask, "How you doing? How the medications going? Anything else I need to know about?" So they think that's therapy. No, it's not. She or just asking how the medication is going so they can know if they need to increase your doses, try something different, or whatever else. But people think, okay, that's therapy too. Oh, it is not therapy. They just checking on your medications. The therapist and a lot of psychiatrists will refer you to a therapist as well. Some of them still not up the breast with that, but most of them will, and people just don't follow through. But a therapist is going to help you with some coping strategies, somebody you can talk to about what you're going through, their listening ear, where you won't feel judged. They can give you some tips or tools how to set boundaries in relationships, how to navigate life, work stress, whatever it is that you're going through that it feels so big that you feel like it's like something you can't manage. I'm losing my mind because this issue is so big. But if you take care of things when they're low level and just manage it and address it as it comes, it won't snowball and it won't seem so huge to where it seems like you're not able to manage it. And as they say, how do you eat an elephant? If you
Yeah.
don't know, hey, ask your
No.
granny. She know.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey there, ladies. Life can be a lot. The deadlines, the demands, the constant hustle. Sometimes it feels like you're running on empty. But what if I told you there's a space just for you? A space to sip, mingle, and recharge. Introducing the Happy Hour Social Series by Be Seen Social. Every Thursday evening, you'll join an amazing group of women for a 6-week virtual experience unlike anything you've ever tried before. This isn't just another workshop. This is a safe space expertly curated for women like you. So head on over to BeSeenNetwork.com to sign up today because your happiness and your health matter. Okay, now back to the show. What's one of the misconceptions about mental health, especially in the Black community, that you often encounter in your work?
One of the misconceptions is that if I see a therapist, people are gonna think I'm crazy, right? No, 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 no. I could say about 90%, probably 95% of the people who come to me are not at that level of severe mental health issues, right? There's different levels. Like just because you feeling some stress or sadness, and all of us feel it, that's normal. We're a human being. We have emotions. You're gonna feel sadness. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna all those emotions you're supposed to be. We were designed that way. But some people feel like when they have those emotions, especially men and African Americans, that's a sign of weakness. And actually, I tell my people all the time, my clients, actually, it's a strength when you go get it taken care of. right?
Right.
Because you able to identify what's going on, you can process it, you recognize that you need help, and you go get it. There's different levels to mental health issues. And I tell my clients, like I was saying, if you were really what we would say, quote unquote, is crazy, severe mental health, you'll probably be an inpatient before you come to me anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You'll go get stabilized, which is a small percentage of people. It's not as big as people think.
Since working with clients with mental health challenges can sometimes be a little difficult, how do you connect with your clients on a personal level while maintaining your professional boundaries?
I like to have relationship communication with my clients. So a lot of them, sometimes we'll sit here and chit chat and they think I'm their friend or something. I am their friend, but you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
homegirl type of friend or whatever. Cause I really want to know what's going on with you in your life, like for real, like a friend. And that way it's a skill. They think I'm their friend, like we chit chatting homegirl. I'm really listening to what you're saying.
Right.
So you can feel comfortable to tell me the things that I need to know so that I can help you better. Because if we sitting here stuffy, you're not telling me being transparent because you're scared I'm gonna judge you or whatever, then you're not gonna give me what I need so I can give you what you need. So I
Right.
try to make it comfortable and I am practical. I'll give real practical, real life solutions. And now people like, well, I thought it was gonna be harder than that. No, I'm very practical. Now, I don't want to sit here and tell you about Freud, Piaget, all those theories. Like, I know them and
Right.
it's helpful, but it wouldn't help you because you don't want that. No, who wants to listen to that? And I don't even want to listen to it. So I
Com-
know you don't want to listen to it. And it
no.
won't be helpful because how you gonna go apply fraud out there when you go to work or when you're
Right.
dealing with a relationship? Like you like, okay, this lady told me about my ego and my super ego. And now what do I do with that? What
Right.
it got to do with me? I can't pay this bill or I can't function at work or my
Right.
girlfriend not acting right. What am I gonna do with fraud ego? Well, like I don't know. And then they don't come back. And
Oh,
they never come back to anybody because they like that didn't help me.
right. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So just real communication, authentic, and being practical.
Nice. Good. What advice would you give to someone hesitant about seeking counseling or mental health support, especially in a case where they might have actually went before and got burnt, kind of like what you
Mhm.
said, it turned
Mhm.
them off.
Right. So first of all, find a therapist that you're comfortable with. Just because you go to one the first time, and if y'all not matching, and I tell people that all the time too, I'm like, I'm not for everybody, right? I'm practical. So if you want some real scientific type of therapy, I'm not the one. So I don't have a problem with that. Like I want you to find the one that you need. Absolutely. So when you looking for a therapist, you can ask for if you want an African American woman, if you want an African American man, if whatever your race or ethnicity is, you can ask for that person. You can ask for one that's a Christian. You can ask for one that deals with DT, whatever your issue is,
Mm.
and whatever makes you feel comfortable, you can request that type of therapist. And if they don't work for you, go to another one. Find one till you find one that y'all can have a good relationship with.
Yes, it's about that connection and
Mhm.
finding what resonates with you. So,
Absolutely.
looking back, is there any advice you would give your younger self at the start of your career?
Okay. The young Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very introverted and I still am to a certain sense. And back in the day, I used to call it shy or whatever, but you really being an introvert, you just like to be to yourself because I'm real reflective. I like to process things. I like to make wise decisions. I like to analyze things. To my younger self, I would tell me to be more social.
Okay.
Because especially if you're trying to go into business and you're trying to make those connections and be more into the community, you need a network.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so from mid 2024 now into going to 2025, that's my big new goal. My new mission is to be on more platforms, to reach more people, to socialize more, to communicate more, to collaborate more, because it's needed in business, even if you're working for someone.
Yeah.
Collaboration and having real positive, 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 let me express positive, okay? Positive relationships is very, very, very important. And
Yes.
sometimes the negative ones are important too because they help you grow.
Right.
But just
Learning.
don't stay stuck in it. Just learn the lesson and hurry up and get up out of them.
That's right. That is right. Okay. So, if you could leave our listeners with one message about mental wellness, what would it be?
Mental health, mental wellness. It's all about overcoming life's common challenges. And that's like my motto because I want people to really realize and recognize that what you're going through is really common, right? They feel like, oh no, somebody's gonna know I'm going through this. They're gonna think I'm weird and odd and like I can't handle life or that I'm a failure. No, what you're going through is common. All of us go through challenges. Even the most put together person, the most successful person, the richest person in the world, they have challenges as well. And one or two things are happening. Number one, either they hiding it like you are and not getting help, so you think they have it together. Or number two, they have some real good coping strategies in place, and so they're functioning well. They're being successful. They're being motivated, and they're getting what they want out of life.
So, with all that you do for others and family business, all that good stuff, what does self love and care look like for you? How do you maintain your own mental health and wellness?
I like to get my rest. Even through the challenge that with my daughter or whatever, people like, "How are you doing? Are you getting enough rest?" God, I ask God, peace, please give me peace and rest because I need it. Because if I'm not rested and if I don't take care of me, how
Hmm.
can I take care of somebody else? That's the number one thing I would leave with the people. If you don't take care of yourself, because we have problems, real serious problems with self care. We think it's selfish. We think if I give 30 minutes to myself, that means I'm not giving 30 minutes to my kids or to my husband. But you have to recognize it's quality over quantity. I say the 30 minutes you take care of yourself, whether it's reading, journaling, taking a vacation, a walk around the block. I love nature. I love taking walks at a nice park with some fresh air. That's how I revamp myself. If you take care of yourself, those 30 minutes, like every other day, or once a week, whatever, depends on what your schedule allows and how stressful your life is at that moment. But if you take time for yourself, those 30 minutes, you thinking you're taking it from your family, your work, your kids, whatever. But guess what? Those 30 minutes are very important because when you do spend that time with them, minus the 30 minutes, it's quality. You're not grumpy, you're not edgy, you're not saying, oh, let me hurry up and finish reading this book to this baby because I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. They need to go to sleep. Oh, I got to cook some more food. Oh, I got to finish this project. You won't feel that way because you take care of you first.
Right.
And so you don't feel the stressors and everything, and it's more about quality versus quantity.
I love it. It's so true. So, how can our listeners actually go ahead and connect with you?
Okay, well, I'm on all social media, Facebook and Instagram, either at Virginia Dale Manning, the LPC, because of course we have those personal pages, but that's personal. Go to the business. And then my business page is at Jen Man, GINMAN Consulting on all social media platforms as well. I have a website, www.genmanconsulting.com, and just connect, get on my newsletter so you can get some good information coming to your email about once every other 2 weeks or something like that. But information is very important.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for giving us your time and sharing your wisdom and information as well as your experiences. It has truly been a pleasure having you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay, so here's a key reminder. Mental health isn't just about managing challenges. It's about stepping into our power and finding the tools we need to live authentically and fully. Whether you're seeking therapy, setting boundaries, or carving out time for self-care, remember that taking the first step towards your mental wellness is an act of courage and self-love. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought-provoking question. What would your life look like if you gave yourself permission to prioritize your mental wellness? Whenever you're ready to chat about your answer, come on over to Instagram at Be Seen Network. That's B as in boy, the word seen, the word network, all together, and drop me a DM. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear them. If you found value in today's episode, feel free to share it with someone who might need it. And as always, remember, fill your cup first and share from the overflow. Spread love and light wherever you go. See you in the next episode. Bye. Hey there. If you've enjoyed the show, head on over to bcnetwork.com to join the community. Please make sure to follow and rate the show. Feel free to go ahead and take a screenshot to show you were listening and tag me on Instagram at bcnetwork. Let's meet and connect so I can show you some love over there. Thank you so much for being here. Light and love always. Be well.